Hey guys. All right, back to the cashmere hat. So I've got my cashmere hat here, and I've been doing the patty cake. And then after the patty cake, I flipped it and I did more patty cake. And then I started doing this very gently, just doing a gentle, gentle rub. Kind of like you're touching a baby, very gently, like you would pet a baby lamb or a puppy. And as I went along, like if you need more soap, you know it. If it's not gliding or if anything's poking up through, you just need more soap. And as you're going along, when you get to your edges, you just kind of lift your edges and rub those edges to make sure that it's all lining up with the resist, that nothing is going haywire. You can even fold over your little screen or your little this piece that you're using on the top here, and use that for your edges to kind of gently rub and get the nice shape on your edges there. So I've just been gently going around and doing little circles, rub, 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 nice and soapy. You can also go back and forth, or you can go up and down, or you can do big circles. But if you've done one side for a couple of minutes, it's time to just gently pick it up. And at this point, since I've been going for a little while, I'm just picking up my two pieces of screen and my project. I'm not picking up my bubble wrap anymore. So I've got just my project here. Make sure there aren't any big wrinkles underneath, any big folds. There we go. You just gotta fold it every once in a while so that it's not uneven. If you do one side too much, it's just gonna be, I don't know, I guess it would shrink uneven or something. I don't really know. I guess I have to make that mistake to find out. There. I'm just doing my little circles. If you see any of the light blue, it's just because I put extra soap on this side recently. There we go. I'm only using the palms of my hands like that, gently and flat. I'm not digging in at all with my fingers yet. I might eventually, as I feel like my fibers are really starting to hold together, but right now it still feels very tender, very gentle, very baby-like, so I'm just going along with my hand flat, just holding it very gently. And again, I'm using just regular water. I didn't use hot water. This was just room temperature tap water from the well. Dawn dish soap. The wool from my Angora Bunny Padre. I have 3 Angora bunnies. I've got Applejack and Padre, my 2 bucks. And I've got Dreama Bunny, my sweet little doe, a little doeling I should call her. She's just a baby girl. She and Applejack are brother and sister. Not related at all to Padre. My plan is I'm going to wait, and then in the fall I will breed Dreama and Padre together. Her coloring, she is a lilac Angora, and he is a pure white Angora, so I can't wait to see what color their little babies will be. This Angora wool on its own is just super soft. This is the first time that I've actually used it on its own for felting. I've actually been mixing it with my sheep's wool. And then I thought to myself, I should try to make a hat just with the pure Angora. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see how it turns out. I thought you needed the structure of the sheep's wool, but then I read that you don't. And I saw there's a gal up in, I think it's the Bangor area, who's making felted garments just out of her bunny wool. So that got me inspired, and I started experimenting, and it's working. So relaxing. The wool kind of tells you when it's ready for you to start digging your fingers. Not really digging, but just starting to put a little bit more pressure. You don't want to start just grooving into it, because you'll notice that just starts to groove into the wool, the fibers, and then you have all these pock marks and it's really hard to work with it then. You want it to be smooth and cohesive and slowly to shrink down. So the wool will tell you when it's time to start gently curling your fingers and putting a little bit more pressure. Sounds so hippy-dippy, but listen to your wool, everyone. All right, I'm gonna flip it again. One more flip, and then I'll show you the next fun part. Yes. Okay, here we go. So you can tell every time I flip it, and I get a little bit rougher with it because I trust it a little bit more. I know that I've been working it, and I know that it's starting to felt together, and it's starting to hold together like a piece of fabric. When I get to my edges, I try to curve my fingers so that I can get those edges to really hold together. A little more structure around my edges. And my fingers, my knuckles are curved just a little bit to give a little bit more structure. Because as I do this, I'm pushing the fibers down and they're locking together like little barbs, little tiny fish hooks. Straighten out my little net here. All right, I'm starting to look pretty good. So I'll take some of this extra soap out of here, scrape it off on my bowl. All right, let's do what I've seen them do online. It's called a little felting test where you just, oh, it's so smooth, you guys. You pick it up and you see if it's holding together. Now look at that. It is holding together. It wants to be a piece of fabric, you guys, and it feels so soft you wouldn't believe it. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, all right. Get a hold of yourself, Auntie Cal. Here we go. All right. I'm just gonna smooth that little air bubble that I just made down. There we go. Smooth it on down there. There we go. Time for me to check my edges. Let's get this out of the way. I'm just going to gently hold this back. I'm just going to gently go around, lift my resist, and I'm just going to put the edge between my thumb and my hand and check my edges. I'm just going to go all the way around. The reason I do this is you don't want the edge to be floppy, to have a seam. And if you don't do this, you're gonna have a seam, like a weird rough edged seam running right down the middle of your hat. It'll make sense at the end when we take out the resist. So for now, I just gently run right down the edge. There. Okay. Beautiful. It's holding together very nicely. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to touch this too much because it's still pretty gentle. So I'm going to put my screen back on. And we're going to do what's called rolling. Rolling is where I'm just going to make a little sandwich with my two screens, my bubble wrap, and my project, and we're just going to roll it a couple of times, and this is going to start the shrinking process because we already have the pre-felt started. That's where the fabric has started to form. But now we need to get it to start shrinking in on itself because it's way too big and it's really loose and we don't want it to fall apart. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to start rolling it on itself. So I'm just going to take it from this edge and I'm just going to roll it up. And in doing this, it's going to start taking out just some of the soap. Just pull that taut. There we go. Oop, popped a bubble. There we go. There. So it pulls out some of the soap. That's okay. I'm just going to put that into my little bucket here. There. So I have my project. All I'm going to do is roll this very gingerly. Gingerly, I will roll it. I'll roll it this way, I'll take it out, I'll roll it the opposite way just so it doesn't come off of itself, come off of the resist in a weird way. And I'll meet back with you guys in a few minutes and show you what I've done. Bye!